Hello, and welcome back to the Roofview Hotel. We hope you enjoyed your stay, because we have been dying to see you again. The door is locked. I cannot get out. All I wanted to do was help the kitchen staff, since they looked understaffed. I'm sure someone will let me out in the morning. I mean, breakfast is the busiest time of the day. In the meantime, I guess I'll find somewhere to sleep. There's a storeroom there, so I guess I could find maybe a mattress or some pillows to sleep on for the night. As I walk around looking for the storeroom, I realize that I should probably have what I came for on me, so I can give it to the staff in the morning, or at the very least, I can return it to the kitchen where I found it. So, I head back to the kitchen to grab the knife and realize that there are more. I did not grab more than two when I went down to the kitchen, but I guess someone must have come down here to grab some more. What I cannot figure out is why someone would have come down here to grab more. Maybe they realized I was taking a long time and came down here to fetch the knife I was getting. That does not make sense either, since again, there are more. If they came down here and realized that they needed more than the knife I was supposed to get, they would have come for me. I mean, the knife they asked me for, there's only one of them, and it's their sharpest. Meant for bone, the knife's edge is incredibly sharp. It is serrated, meant for a sawing motion as opposed to a clean chop. Despite this, the blade is less than 0.01 millimeters on the larger portions, and yet smaller on the smaller portions. You could use it to clean chop meat if you wanted to. I grab the knife and examine the new ones. They cannot be as sharp as the first one. I pick one up and nearly drop it. It is heavy, but it's thinner than the sharpest one, and that one isn't heavy at all. Why is this one heavy? I struggle to put it in the knife drawer, but eventually I get it in. Three more. I pick up the second one. This time I nearly throw it into the ceiling. It is extremely light. It looks thicker than the sharpest knife, not to mention how it is much larger. The blade is also wider and blunter. It looks like more like a meat cleaver than a knife. I take it over to the rest of the meat cleavers and put it in an empty spot. Two more. I walk back and notice something peculiar. One of the knives has disappeared, but that's impossible. I've been in the kitchen this entire time. No one came in. Maybe I just counted wrong. I never actually counted how many knives there were after I took the sharpest one. I counted 4 before, but never after. Yeah, I probably just miscounted. That's all. I take the last knife and examine it. Surprisingly, despite what the staff told me, it is another bone knife, just as sharp, just as small, and just as dangerous. Everything is the same. I take it and put it in the knife drawer. After I leave the kitchen, I take the knife out of my pocket. Taking a closer look at it, I realize that having two would be more useful to me than having just one. I run back to the kitchen, take the second bone knife, and run out. Now it's time to find the storage room. On my way to the storage room, I pass by the stage. I know it's late at night, but doing one short thing on stage might not be too bad. I walk into the dining hall and walk back onto stage. It is large, much larger than anything I have ever been on. I pull out the knives from my pocket and begin reciting lines from one of my favorites, Sweeney Todd. These are my friends. After having a bit of fun with the knives on stage, I continue making my way towards the storage room, looking for something I can sleep on. On the way, I also look for a room that I can put the mattress in. As I continue to travel through the basement, looking for the storeroom, I feel my eyelids begin to weigh down. I need to find a room near the storeroom to bunk, but since I feel I'm about to fall. Eventually, I find what I'm looking for, the storeroom. Inside is exactly what I expected. Mattresses, bed sheets, pillows, pillowcases, and more that I didn't expect to be there. I grab what I'm looking for and get out. Unable to find a room, I put the mattress down next to the storeroom and set up what I can. Bed sheets, pillows, and cases, comforter, and everything. I place the knives next to the mattress and fall onto it, not having realized previously how tired I am. I wake up exactly where I fell asleep, on the mattress. Nothing appears wrong at first until I check for the knives. They're gone. Where did I put them? I put them next to the mattress last night. So what happened? I think once, twice, thrice about where I put them. I'm sure I put them next to the mattress. Maybe someone came down here and took them? That seems likely. Having found myself a somewhat satisfying conclusion, I pick up the mattress and the linen I took, and I put it at the entrance of the storeroom. Still set. With that, I make my way back to the entrance of the basement. When I get to the door, it's locked. I guess I woke up earlier than I thought. What else is there to do down here? I think there might be a game room, but I don't know for sure. I make my way around the basement, looking for something to do while also waiting for the door to open. I pass the kitchen 3 times before stopping. I still can't find anything, and it has been some time. Do they know I'm down here? Maybe knocking on the door will help. So I make my way back towards the staircase that got me down here in the first place. The door's still locked. so I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. I knock on the door, hoping someone will hear me and come to rescue me. I wait for a few minutes, but I can hear nothing. No footsteps, no breathing, laughing, nothing. I walk away, dejected. Maybe I can find something down here to mark where I've been and where I have not. I know the kitchen has knives and utensils, but using those might be dangerous, not to mention a bit cumbersome. The storeroom has a variety of bed frame parts which I could use to get screws to mark my path, but I feel like screws might be a bit too small. So instead of wasting my time thinking about what to do, I begin walking around again, looking for the storeroom once again. If I can grab a leg from a bed frame, I can use it to break down the door. It's a little extreme, but at this point, I have nothing to do down here. And it seems like it is a bit too far past breakfast for anyone to be coming down here for a while. I'll probably get charged for damage, but at this point, it might be my only option to get out for a while. When I get back to the storeroom, I grab a bedpost and head back. On the way back to the stairwell, I spot the kitchen. Something gleams on the counter within, and I head in to check out what it is. They're the knives. How did they get in here? If no one came down here, which is evident by the fact that the knives are here instead of gone, then why are they here? I know I brought them with me to the storeroom last night. What's more, there are even more of them. I counted 2 last night. There are 5 now. If the knives are going to keep multiplying, I won't bother picking up any. If the staff are coming down here and just not noticing me, then there's no person to be stockpiling the ever-increasing knives. I guess I'll take one of them since I have literally nothing else, but that's it. Leaving the kitchen, I scoff at the remaining 4 knives, look back towards my path. When I return later, there better be only one. Either that, none, or there are more. At this point, the least likely thing to happen is for the number of knives to stay the same. It's not long until I reach the stairwell from the kitchen, and I make my way up to the door, bedpost and knife in hand. I take the bedpost and ram the door. The door falls. As it falls, a smile spreads on my face. I'm finally out. And when the dust settles, the smile melts. I found the game room. Is there more than one kitchen? That would explain why the staff have not been able to find me, and why I found 5 knives at the corner. Though I remember retracing my steps back to the kitchen after I left the storeroom for the first time, so the probability of there being 2 kitchens is low since I retraced my steps exactly. Unless I didn't. Is it possible I could have taken a wrong turn? No. The halls are not twisty or split, they're wide and easy to see through to boot. Just like the rest of the hotel, the basement is quite linear. It is just as large like the rest of the hotel. I enter the game room, curious of what is in there. A Wii U, an Xbox 360, a pool table, and a large assortment of other party game-based tables. The room is surprisingly big for where it's supposed to be under the hotel. There are many striking things here, but perhaps the most striking of them all is the door. There's a black door at the back with no label to it all. It seems suspicious, as if someone was trying to hide something in the most, yet least conspicuous place in the hotel. I walk back there, still brandishing the bedpost. Not for any reason, other than I am suspicious of the door. As I walk closer, I see faded letters on the door reading storage. I sigh in relief. It's just a storage room. Might as well check it out anyways. Since it might have something in there I can put into or connect to the Wii U or Xbox to pass some time. I try the doorknob, not expecting it to be unlocked. I turn the knob and open the door. What I see inside cannot be unseen. What happened in here? The room is filled with black bags, and the smell is terrible. The black bags seem soft and squishy, and I do not want to touch them. I do not want to know what is inside since they are dripping red. There is one thing that stands out within the black and dark red that fills the closet-like room. Glimmering just slightly at the center of it all is a knife, just like the rest of them, with blood at the tip. It is not ketchup or hot sauce. The red liquid is unmistakably blood. That means that the bags hold bodies. Dead bodies. Human or not, I can't tell. I don't want to grab the knife from the room, but something is calling me to it. I don't know what, but something is. The knife looks to be just as sharp as the one I had. That's when I notice it. I don't have my knife anymore. This one is a perfect replacement for the one I just had. If the bodies in the bag are human, then grabbing the knife could mean life in jail for me. If they're not, I could be a threat and kicked out of a hotel. No refunds. Either way, I leave the basement, which I see as a win for me in both scenarios, though I cannot take the knife just yet. There are 4 more in the kitchen, and I could take one of those and nothing happens. Maybe one of the staff will find me first. Either way, I need to explore every possibility before grabbing that knife. breaking down the doors, looking for another way out, finding a key, anything. Anything could work if I found it. I closed the door, leaving the bloody knife and the body bags behind. Time to start looking for a way to get out, beside that knife. Day 1 was a failure. I tried breaking down every door downstairs. All of them were dead ends. How did I get down here in the first place? I don't even know anymore. On my way back to the temporary camp in the game room, I spot one of the doors I knocked down. It's a freezer room. I can just feel the draft from the room, and it gives me a chill. Fortunately, I can stay down here for long. The ice in the freezer gives me a kind of fresh source of water, and there seems to be about a month's food in there. I guess most of the hotel's food is stored upstairs, since the food down here is only fit for one person for a month. Guess that means I have a timer now. The only thing I need to figure out regarding the freezer is how to harvest the water from the frost in the room. Bringing a fire into the room could ruin the food in there, and bringing the ice out would be hard. I need to find a way to get the ice out or heat in without doing anything that could hurt the longevity of my timer. Day 3, I found a way to get the ice out. If I grab a cup from the kitchen along with one of the butter knives, I can scrape the frost from various places in the freezer room and then run it through a water filter to get water. And it hits me. I don't need all these steps to get water. There's a kitchen. I can just use the sink. Day 5, I found out why the hotel stores food down here. I pick up one of the packets of food and found out why the food felt bad. Really bad. Like it can't be eaten kind of bad. Since I can't eat that, I'll have to find something else down here. Problem is, I can't find anything else down here that I can eat. So I'll have to look through the kitchen fridge. I make my way up there and find a sight that I would never have expected. More knives. Why? They're all bone knife too. First 2, now 7? What do I do with these? If the knives are appearing for a reason, then I must find out why. I pick them all up and figure out that each of the knives has a different symbol on the back. While they don't seem to be any type of rune or language, they seem to be more related to hieroglyphics or anything. If I can figure out what each symbol means, then I can find out the source of the knives, or find something that I can eat, or find something I can use to find something to eat. Luckily, each of the knives is labeled with a number. If these are steps, I need to follow them in order. The only problem is the first one is labeled with a 1, but the next one is labeled with a 3. The numbers aren't consecutive. This means that there are more knives and more numbers. If I can find the rest of the knives, however many there may be, I will be able to find the true sequence, and then use the knives to find whatever they are leading to. Luckily, there seems to be a pattern. Each knife is labeled with an odd number, and the odd numbers themselves are consecutive. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. I wonder how many knives there are. The basement is big, but not big enough to hide more than, say, 20 knives if you put one in every room. So, I'll start my search by following the first knife symbol. It looks to be triangular, but like an upside-down triangle. There are lines all over it as well. Strangely enough, the lines are only parallel with the length of the knife. If this is what I think it is, then I should probably head to the freezer. Day 6, I found all the knives. There are only 13 in total, which is a blessing. The last knife leads to the closet in the game room. Of course it leads there. I know what's there, but I guess the knives were just a secret way for whoever put the bags in the closet to find their way back to the closet. Does this mean that something else could have been stored in the closet? I don't know. Whatever the case may be, it looks like finding the knives was completely useless, since it led me back to the bags. When I went back to the game room, the knife within the closet had a much stronger pull, but I resisted. I nearly grabbed it, but I resisted. After that, I closed the door and resolved to use the knives for something else. I made my way to the stairwell since on day 1 I found out that there was only one staircase, and at this point, I had walked the area of the basement so many times that I'm able to consistently find the stairwell, no matter how hidden it may seem to be. When I reach the door at the end of the stairway, I grab all the knives and use a bit of them to create a lever to wrench the doorknob off. If I can do that, I can probably try and use the knives to open the door from the outside, and then I will finally have my escape. The lever does not work. I head down and grab a bed frame leg from the storeroom and make my way back to the stairwell, placing the knives in the kitchen on the way. I try and break down the door. No luck. I need to find more ways to get out, or at the very least, to survive without food. I remember the 33s. 3 minutes without air, days without water, weeks without food. If I got stuck in here one day before I started, then I should die before or by day 20. That shortened my timer. I need to find something to eat, and I don't want to eat rotten food or possible murder evidence. Nothing down here is acceptable. I must do something to get out. I cannot just resign my grisly fate of dying down here, but I cannot also just let myself die. If death were my only way out, I would have died already, and on my own terms, in my own way, not starvation. There is only one other way out I can think of. Whatever the knife does, it can't be too bad, right? I enter the closet once again, nearly puking at the putrid smell. It's the third time I've been here, but I'm still not used to the smell. I walk up to the knife in the center and pick it up. My vision turns red. I hear humming all around me, but covering my ears does nothing to stop it. What's happening? I try and leave the room, drop the knife, but I can't move any longer. The humming turns to screaming, unable to do anything for a few good minutes. I fall, the knife still in my hand. I will not land on it, but I'm scared. What happened? What is going to happen? I do not know. Eventually, I resign to the fall and close my eyes. Soon after, I black out. I wake up next to the stairwell. The knife is still in my hand, and it is still bloody. What moved me? More importantly, what day is it? I feel my stomach growl, and the hunger kicks in. It's been at least a day, I know that. I stand up. The freezer is not too far from here, so even if the food smells inedible, if I can eat it, it will be fine. On my way to the freezer, I pass the kitchen, and I notice something that I would have never guessed would have happened. The knives are all gone. All 7 of them. Where did they go? It's not like they could have magically disappeared. I don't think the kitchen staff came down here at all in the 6 days I was stuck down here. Realizing that it's been nearly a week since I became trapped down here, I run back to the stairwell, the knife still in hand. When I'm there, I stop. This is it. I might be able to leave. If I can't, oh well, but if I can, then that's that. I can leave. I slowly walk up to the stairwell, one step at a time. When I reach the top, I take a breath and place my hand on the doorknob. I try to turn it, but I can't. Is the doorknob stuck? No, it's not. Is it locked? Probably. I keep trying. Still nothing. Panicking, I use the only thing I know might get me out of here. I use the tip of the knife to try and unlock the door. Still nothing. I try in between the door and the wall, hoping to catch the thing that keeps the door closed. Still nothing. I try and use the leverage to open the door. Still nothing. I try everything I can think of, and everything I tried over the 6 days of being stuck down here. Nothing works. Getting desperate, I try and kick the door down. Nothing. Again, nothing. I keep trying, with no changes whatsoever to the result. I know Einstein said that only fools try the same thing over and over and expect different results, but at this point, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. I cannot be stuck down here any longer. Eventually, the screaming stops and is replaced by another kind of screaming. Not mine, but someone else's. I cover my ears, hoping to drown out the sound that not only matched mine, but is more deafening than mine. It does not work. Oh no, this cannot be happening again. Not now. I need to get out. Now! I continue trying, ignoring the screaming and the reddening of my vision. I cannot stop now. I cannot, but I do. I stop trying. Stop prying. Stop it all. Then everything goes black, and I fall.